Hello, Nick. We are back at it. One correction before I advance on to the next turn. I believe I had retracted part of the results of when Howe came and attacked because I said he was out of line of communication, but he was, I think he was just 2SP, and 2SP they're not affected by that shift in the combat table. So I went ahead and removed the 1 SP that I had given back into that stack there. All right, so on to the late summer of 1775 turn. Probably it's time to start just kind of thinking about winter quartering, making sure that you're going to have people so that they're not attrited away because you don't have enough winter quartering capacity wherever you are. But let's go ahead and review the reinforcements here. So you may already see some, but so the British, they've got another 2 coming from England. So then the Colonials had Ethan Allen. He is gone. We put Gates and Lee here in the leader pool, both 2-star. And here's what I get for not kind of looking ahead planning wise. Oh boy, I just made a mess. Let me clean that up. All right, disaster averted for the most part. Somewhere there's a Colonial Regulars 6 strength unit running around that I just could not find. So I'm guessing it flew on the floor somewhere. But I had been studying some stacks before I had started filming, so luckily for me, I pretty much knew what was there. One weird thing is a loyalist unit all the way down from here found itself in the Atlantic. That was far away from the disaster, so I don't know how that got there. If when I tried to stop it, if I hit it and flung it that way. But anyways, as I was saying, a surprise to me on the Colonial Reinforcement chart was convert all militia units on the board to Continental Regulars. So all of those, that big stack of 6 in there, they're all regulars now. No more militia, which, wow, now makes me think should have maybe attacked that spot more. Definitely need to try to knock them down before this happens. And then Washington gets added to any unit, so I added him to the big 6 spot there. And then Schuler and Montgomery and 2 Continental Regulars and a magazine go at Albany, so they will join up with their compatriots there. And that is it for reinforcements this turn. So I just want to talk a little bit about the plan going forward. I think kind of what I'll change it to after the last 2 videos, just taking an entire season and me showing a lot. I don't think that I could be interesting enough to do a Callendale type deep exploration like that. Those last 2 videos were probably a bit much, but they did introduce gameplay concepts, which I think are important for understanding how the game works. So I think going forward, what I'll do is I'll check in at the beginning of the season, kind of go over the reinforcements, what the plans are, if I've come up with any. And then I'll check in at the end of the season, give kind of a summary of the campaigns or notable battles that happened, and then I can always break in if there's some interesting situations that we haven't seen before, or address certain rules. So that's kind of the plan for that, and I'll be able to probably get through this with less videos and probably quicker, since I'm not doing each and every little thing of a turn. And let's see, finally, I was alerted by a comment that I need to speak up. At least that's the way I interpreted it. The comment was a little cutesy, but I'm taking it as constructive criticism, whether it was meant that way or not. But I know my voice is deep and of a tone that can be hard to hear, so I will try to make sure I'm near the camera and not mumble my ramblings. But just and as always, if I revert back, let me know. I'm just plugging away, doing what I'm doing. So that is that, and time to get going. As far as plans for this turn, man, Washington is looking at Boston and thinking that could be a tasty treat. Though there's Montgomery, these guys here might march on Howe. Oh, which reminds me, so at the end of the reinforcement phase, leaders can transfer. And I think what I want to do is Gage is in command here because he's a 3-star, and he sucks because he's a D. So I think we're going to have him transfer over here, and then we'll have Clinton take charge here, being a B, to help with those odds. And you know what? Maybe we'll have Burgoyne transfer up to Montreal, or Quebec, I mean. Can maybe take somebody and start doing something. As far as the Colonials, I think they got a lot of leaders here, but that's kind of the way it is. I don't really have. I guess I could. You know what? Putnam's a 2-star C. These are both 2-star Cs. Maybe Putnam will leave since these two just showed up, and we'll move him. Oh, maybe we'll move him down here. We might start getting frisky down in the Tidewater. And then if we want to activate these guys, we can always bring somebody out of the leader pool. So I guess we got some options. Maybe a little foray in the Tidewater here. Definitely tempted by Boston, and then also tempted to go in against Ticonderoga, but I don't think we've got it. We'll have a big enough force to take on that -3 modifier, and with Howe being such a good leader. So might just seek to kind of contain up here, maybe build some more entrenchments, try to block off any chance of them attacking down. As far as the British, man, I don't know if I really have a conducive plan for them. Like I say, maybe Burgoyne will take a regular and head down, unless he takes the Loyalist. And I don't know. I think the British might just be, I think their plans of trying to take over the New England states for this year and win the game, I don't think that's going to happen. So we shall be back at the end of the turn, if not before. Oh, One quick thing that I think we're definitely going to do. I don't know if you remember, we have this Henry Dearborn card with a tactical leader, tactical commander, TC. And the only regular we had was those ones up with Benedict Arnold up here. And that was I thought a little dangerous to add, but now that we've got them all over, I think we're going to add that in with Washington, and that will be very nice. That guy will add a +1 in attacks or battles, and we'll also have enough colonials there, so we just don't lose them right away if they lose. So, all right, talk to you later. So here we are at the end of the late summer turn. Some action. I believe that I made a mistake by having Gage transfer over here. He's a senior commander who can command more than 2 SP, and putting him on 2 SP I don't think is allowed as a transfer, but it happened. Washington built a fort, decided against attacking. It would have kind of been I don't know, just kind of a crapshoot. I can't remember. He might have had +1 or even. I can't remember. But built a fort so that he could leave 2 behind. They'd be doubled to 4. Up to 2 SP can take advantage of a fort. Then I think Burgoyne was trying to bring 1 SP, a loyalist, down to join with Howe to... Maybe Howe could do something, but he failed his activation and could only get as far as Saint Jean. So then Washington activated. He rolled a 6, which he's special. His activation number 6, but it's got a star. If you roll a 6, you roll again, and if it's 6, he fails. So he almost failed. But he jumped around here, attacked Gage in there, which probably a bad idea to have Gage out in the field commanding people, though I guess better there than at Boston. Washington used one of the battle cards and gave a whooping. Killed 2 SP outright, and Gage had to retreat with the other 2 SP into Boston, which again made Boston weaker because he's there and not allowing Clinton to be able to give his modifier since Gage outranked him. So Gage took 1 SP, went out here and entrenched. And then Arnold came in with his 1 SP, but he's an A, and he crushed Gage's 1 SP, killing the 1 SP. And so then Gage is now in the British leader pool, and probably good riddance. So then the colonials deciding to solidify. Washington wants to protect Rhode Island, so he's building another fort in there so that he can maybe leave an SP in there or 2. And then Burgoyne completed he moved again to join up with Howe. And I think that's pretty much all that has happened. We are in we're in the fall turn now. There are no reinforcements, so I don't know what's going to happen. I think Washington probably is going to try to continue to cordon off the British in Boston. I don't think they can make a foray out. I think they still only got the 4 in there. I guess they've got 5, but I don't think that Clinton is feeling too frisky. I think he's content to stay in there and hope that Washington doesn't solidify his forces and make an attempt. I think these guys will probably maybe start moving toward Ticonderoga to hem Howe in. One thing that did happen last turn is down here, this force did entrench. Lord Dunmore was tempted to have Putnam take a go at it with since Putnam's got regulars and Dunmore only has loyalists. Even with the fort, I think it would have been just even odds. Or actually, I think Dunmore would have a -1. I mean, crapshooty. Who knows? Maybe we'll take a try at it if we get bored. I looked a little more about this. I was going to put this on Washington's force, but then I saw the tactical commanders can only go on armies, and we can't build armies until, or form armies until 1776. So that'll be next turn, or next, the next year, which probably we should start planning for that to get Washington into a spot with some people that he can form a big army and go at it. All right, on to the fall turn. All right, so the fall of 1775 was just kind of cat and mouse. Howe took 2 regulars and a loyalist out of Ticonderoga and went after Benedict Arnold and his 1 SP. Arnold retreated and Howe followed, and then Arnold was successfully retreated again and he went into the fort. So Howe was sitting here. Washington finished his construction of this fort and then moved over here against, well, close to Howe, 1 away. Then initiative came up as a tie, which then, oh, I did forget. So when ties happen, it means this is the last action pulse. No matter how many action pulses are left, it means each player gets 1 action pulse, and then the season's over. The British had moved first last, so they would again. I was also supposed to draw a card, so we'll draw the British first, and they get, Parliament pressures, repressive measures, so they have to offer that to the American. The Americans' draw is he has to offer that to the British. So let's do this first. So let's do the British offering their card. So parliamentary repressive measures. So if the colonials use this, the British must move at least 1 force and attempt to have battle with a colonial force in his action pulse. Failure to do so causes the British marker to move 1 to the left. I think the colonials like that, so they'll take that, and then they offer this Bannister Tarleton, which is a tactical commander, to the British. Yeah, I think they'll keep it. They're hoping that they can form an army also, which they see the colonials definitely in the process of doing. So after that initiative tie, Howe decided all this force coming to bear around him, he retreated back around into Boston, and then for Washington, or the colonials' final activation, Washington went into the forces at the fort, probably with plans to form an army during the next year. Since 1776, we can start doing that. Also, 1776 marks where levies start happening, and the British can start using their colonial or their loyalist chips for each region. So 1776 should be interesting. So we will probably end this video here. We finished out 1775, and we'll be getting into the winter of 1776 next time. So, hey, have a good one.